So a ship, this is a ship. The bigger one is a ship, and the smaller one is the lifeboat. As you can see, the lifeboat is much smaller, and so it can be lifted and put onto a ship. Some of the types of boats are the pleasure yachts and the speed boats and so on. Those are small ones, and usually it is the ships that carry them. The lifeboat, actually, as you can see here, is a means of escape for the ship's crew when there's a disaster on board and they have to move away. Then they use the lifeboat. So it's a much smaller thing, and it's usually kept at a special place on the ship. Now, when we're talking about ship, we have to define certain characteristics of the ship. We have the length overall, that is LOA, length overall. So we shorten it to length overall, which is LOA, and it is the length, the full length of the vessel. So, for example, if this were the ship, assuming this is the ship, when we say length overall, we measure the length from this end to that end. That will be the length overall. But when we are measuring the next one, which is the length between perpendiculars, we have, when we are working cargo, the spaces that we can put cargoes in is not all of the ship. There are some spaces you can't put cargo in. You have a pen. There are some spaces you cannot put any cargo in, and those spaces we have to cut them off in a way. Okay. So, for example, in this way, the ship. The length overall was stretched from this end here all the way to the extreme end of the ship. This will be the LOA. And then the length between perpendiculars. We see that the length between perpendiculars is the useful length of the vessel, because these sides will not put any cargoes there. All the cargo would have to be in between the length between perpendiculars. And basically, the length overall is used when the ship is going to port. Because when you go to port, what they will do is to put the vessel alongside. For example, if this is the bed is where they tie the vessel to, so that with the bed, assuming this is the ship and this is the bed, you come and put her here so that they can work cargo. Okay, it is a platform. The bed is a platform on which cargo is loaded from, and then it is discharged onto. Okay, that is where the trucks move and so on. The trucks will come for the containers or the general cargoes or whatever it is the ship brought. And then it will also be the point at which they will bring the cargoes in for the ship to pick them up. So when the ship gets alongside, when she comes and then she sits at the bed here, they have to get the length overall, that is from this end to that end, because she has to occupy that space on the bed. So when we are going to bed, then we need the length overall. But when we are doing cargo calculations, that is trying to find out how much cargo we can put into the space, then we are interested only in the length between the perpendiculars. Yes. Yes. Cargo calculations, we do how much cargo we can put into the ship and so on. Because you have to find out how much, depending on the type of cargo, the shape of the containment. For example, if we are loading maybe boxes of projectors, we are loading boxes of machinery, we are loading this. You have to do calculations to see how they will fit and how much space you need. So we do cargo calculations. Okay. Pardon? No. That is a whole this thing. Cargo handling is a whole module by itself if we were to teach it. Okay. Because it's not just one type of cargo, you have different types of cargo. You have oil cargoes, you have grains, you have aluminium and all those things. So bauxite. So there are different types of cargoes that you'll be dealing with. Okay. So the length between perpendiculars is needed to calculate how much you can put into the ship. And then the beam of the ship, when we talk about the beam, we are talking about the width. So if this is the length of the ship, this will be the width across and then the depth. But when we are talking about the depth will be the full measurement, the full height of a vessel. But when a vessel is floating in water, she doesn't float her whole depth. She'll always have some part of her body out of the water. Okay. So the part that is in the water, we measure that too. And it's very important. That is the draft. We call that the draft. We have the draft of the vessel, which is measured from the keel. The keel is the bottommost part of the ship to the load water line. So you have the length, you have the width, you have the length. Here they are looking at the length overall. Okay. Then you have the water line. So from the keel, which is the bottommost part, to a certain water line, which we refer to as a load water line. Okay. The load water line is the maximum water line she must be when she is in the open sea during summertime. Okay. So that is the load water line.